Alright, we are back in Wraeclast. Back in Line Eye's Watch. Let's start Act 6.
Alright, we're safe for the time being. Now let me introduce myself properly. Lily Roth. Yep, I'm one of those Roths. Some call me smuggler, others pirate. Yet I prefer the sound of nautical entrepreneur. Came up with that one myself. So you come see Lily if you need something, or even if you just fancy a good chat with a lovely lady. Don't think I'd be forgetting that favour you owe to me. In fact, now I think of it, there's certainly a way you can be repaying this most considerable debt. You see, those blasted cultists have been plundering the refugee ships trying to escape Oriath. And if not for my incomparable skill as a sea captain, we'd have met the same fate. But now the drowned dead are washing ashore, and they ain't staying dead. There's been a whole lot of blood, sweat and tears getting these few lucky survivors here in one piece. What sort of captain would I be if I let them get ripped apart by walking corpses? Wipe the Twilight Strand clean of those filthy undead bastards and I'll call us even. Might even throw in a little something extra if you can pull it off.
Alright.
And tide, wait for no man.
Let's get to it. Actually, we should talk to Sin as well.
Despite your best efforts, Beast Slayer, a splinter of hope remains. The very seed that brought my beast into existence. The Dark Ember. Never again shall it birth a life so magnificent as the beast. Yet a residue of that power still lingers. Enough to give us a fighting chance against the ravenous Kitava. How do we obtain this Dark Ember? 3 hearts were silenced. 3 hearts must sing again, one last time. In that final flickering of life, our Savior's seed shall be born. All I need are 3 fine souls with which to stoke the flames. Chevron of Umbra, Inquisitor Maligaro, Dodre the Dark Tongue. 3 spirits of near unfathomable resilience and vigor, freed with the beast's final exhalation. So let us begin the harvest. Chevron has come home to Axiom. We shall give her the warm welcome she sincerely deserves.
Interesting. So I never, when playing this game previously,
Thaumaturgy? You sure know how to lift my spirits.
I never realized
Hello.
what we're doing here.
Despite your best efforts,
This about
a splinter of hope remains.
the Dark Ember?
Seed that brought my goodbye.
That's the first time I notice the Dark Ember in any kind of conversation in this game.
First we hear that Oriath has lost its bloody mind, and then you turn up. Doesn't take a scholar to work out how these 2 events might be connected. I don't know what's going on out there, and I probably wouldn't understand it if I saw it with my own 2 eyes. What I do know is this. The world we knew, it's gone. Now we have to do our damnedest to make sure we don't go with it. Nessa. I saw her one night, running out across the coast, headed in the direction of the mudflats. Called out to her, but she didn't even turn her head. Maybe she couldn't hear me. Maybe she didn't want to. I don't bloody know. I tried to run after her, but she'd vanished into the darkness before my feet had barely touched the sand. So I tracked her, all the way to the mudflats, and that's when her tracks, they just stopped. No sign of meeting someone or something. No sign of a struggle. It's like one moment she was running and the next, gone. Look, I've heard some things about what you've done. Things that beg a belief. Now you can do this, please. Find Nessa. Bring her back to us.
Alright, Nessa has gone missing. We have to find her.
Now there's a pair of eyes I could never forget. If the tales are true, those peepers of yours have seen all the wonders of Wraeclast by now. And a few things they likely wish they hadn't. Oh, and no need for us to speak of Oriath. My ears are brimful with the sorrows these wretched companions of yours have been spilling. Now, I'm sure you've noticed that Lion Ice Watch has seen better days. Our once bubbling township has, alas, become a brooding quagmire of gloom and despair. I blame the unrelenting weather. As you know, I am both a humanitarian and a strong believer in the soul-sustaining power of story. Back when I was still captain of the Merry Gull, many days at sea afforded me time to work on my thespian aspirations. I wrote a theatrical epic, a one-man show entitled Cedric and the Buxom Stranger. I sealed the manuscript inside a roll of oiled leather and stashed it in the hold for safekeeping. Perhaps you could salvage it for me from that tidal island upon which my poor ship came to rest. Who knows? Maybe we can bring some joy back to Lion Eye's Watch with a bit of live entertainment.
So back in Act 1, we got the medicine chest from his ship, and now he wants us to go back for his manuscript. These guys are irrelevant to the story. They are side content.
You're not the most. Been an honor.
I make my own luck. Thank you.
Let's clear the Twilight Strand.
I was so arrogant when I first awoke here. I had so much to learn. When I'm ready, and not before.
Ready, Exile? It is time to hunt!
Oh, hi, Einar.
That was a hunt you will not soon forget. You're welcome. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, there's no voice acting on this message in a bottle. Rip. Alright, I'm gonna pause the clarity gem now. We don't need any more mana regen than this. Maybe this will be the first breach I can stabilize on this character. I'm not sure if it's going to give me enough breach monsters though. I think we can do it. Unless they just completely stop spawning. Oh, we got it. Just barely. I'll grab the graft item. We can maybe upgrade our graft item level a bit. Did I clear it? No, I think there's more monsters over here. There we go.
A wretched sight. So many drowned Oriathans cast into undeath. You freed them from their torment, and I'm sure they'd be grateful. Here, that little something extra I were talking about. Though the sea takes away, it gives back in greater measure. While you be skulking about, I've managed to do a bit of hunting on my own. Got a hole full of baubles and trinkets here, which I managed to, procure. Take a look. You might find something particularly naughty to help you on your life's voyage.
She now becomes the gem vendor. This is the first place you can actually buy all the gems from a single vendor. Siosa had a lot of them, but not all, I think.
Time and tide wait for no man.
That would just make life complicated.
Alright, let's continue. We're gonna get Bestel's manuscripts.
Hopefully, I can learn from my mistakes this time.
And we're now fighting the minions of Tukohama. How's my resist, actually? Oh, 72. So we're not quite capped, but pretty close to it. Oh, no voice acting on that. A stranger's kiss on a moonlit night. Dost thou believe in love at first sight?
Marvelous. Oh, yes, yes, it's all here. Act 1, Scene 1. Along the shoreline, the beach grass sways, a blazing sun sinks neath sparkling bays. Oh, strange be the night when the drowned dead rise, and a pale moon ascends upon cold skies. The stranger still is lost to me, those silken pillows upon which I lay at sea. Moody, atmospheric, not as funny as I remember, but I'm sure it gets better in Act 2. Regardless, you have my thanks. Please, take something for your efforts. And next time you're in town, do come and see the show. I'll leave your name at the door, if I can salvage a door from somewhere that is.
Alright, let's ask him about the Brine King as well.
You won't find a sailor that doesn't whisper a quiet prayer to the Brine King before casting off. In fact, under the maddening radiance of a full moon, the more superstitious captains would drown some poor slave or failed mutineer, just to keep old Tsoagoth happy. No, that wasn't a sneeze. That's the fish god's old Asmerian name. It's considered foul luck to speak it on board a ship. A keel-hauling offence.
Alright, the Brine King will become relevant soon enough. Let's go through the mudflats and look for Nessa. The gate is locked, but it appears to be missing an eye. I see Nessa on the minimap up here. The Dishonored Queen dropped the Eye of Conquest. What's up, Nessa?
He did this to me! The King of Brian. And he wants me to be... Oh God. Please. I don't know how I'm doing this, nor if I may again. Help me. Help us before he... Before...
Now Nessa's a mermaid. And the Brine King did this.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Alright, let's access the Karui Fortress. And I believe we're about to face Tukohama.
Let me teach you the laws of war. Tukohama.
The soil wants for your blood no more. I am Sin, thief of virtue, and it is mine to take what I will from the defeated, to make a gift of it to the victorious. Alas, your mortal frame cannot withstand the unfettered fire of deism. It would turn your blood to mist and scorch your precious flesh black. So choose modestly, and choose wisely, for there is much more at stake here than your little hopes and dreams.
It's a bit weird that he introduces himself again.
Exquisite.
We've already met you multiple times. Well, we can now steal god powers by slaying the gods. For now, we only have Tukohama's power, which gives us additional physical damage reduction per second you've been stationary, up to a maximum of 9%. I'm gonna take this node and actually get capped on all resists. Wait, was there a lore item or anything in here? No, there's not. Oh, I guess we could maybe ask some follow-up questions about Tukohama or the Pantheon thing in general. Let's head back to town, though.
You've seen Nessa. Talk to her. Oh, that's more than I dared hope for, true.
Wait, what is happening? The game crashed. What? No. That's the first crash I've had in, well, this entire league, I think. Let's load back in. Hopefully it doesn't happen again.
You've killed the Karui war god. Can you kill a god? Look, I can't even begin to understand what you've just done. Vestal will be able to put our gratitude into words more fitting of a legend. Me, I'll work with what I know. A solid reward for a damn fine deed.
We could get that Nessa dialogue again. I wonder if it's a reproducible crash.
Still alive, are we?
I guess we'll find out.
You've seen Nessa. Talk to her. Well, that's more than I dared hope for, truth be told. This change she's going through, this curse the so-called Brine King has put on her, it can be broken. I know it. You've got to keep going. Follow her trail before it gets any colder. Make your way along the coast, the ship graveyard, even Mervale's cave if you must. By my reckoning, this king's not the sort to venture far from his briny bed.
Alright.
Farewell.
It didn't crash the second time, that's good.
Welcome. Stay sharp out there.
I wanted to talk to Sin as well.
May humanity flourish.
The rise of the gods.
I shall put this simply, for in truth, everything comes down to the simple act of planting a seed in the ground. The gods are rising because you slew the one creature that prevented them from doing so. Your name for it is the Beast. It was I who planted the seed in the rich soil beneath Highgate, who nurtured it, who watched it bloom into maturity, even as I succumbed to its mollifying powers. We gods, we were driven into slumbering darkness, to dream away eternity whilst the gentle beast watched over us. I would desire that we return to that blissful state, but my brothers and sisters of deism shall never submit to banishment. They have tasted freedom once more, and they shall not let go of this world until it is pried from their cold, dead hands.
I did not know that. The fact that we killed the beast is why we are now able to face gods. Why the gods woke up from their slumber.
The beast was never a cruel master. It didn't want to destroy, to corrupt, to terrorize. It simply existed to exist. I made it that way. Unfortunately, in neglecting to provide it with ambition, I made it vulnerable to the ambitions of others. Queen Atziri and Doriani, Emperor Chittus and Malachi. Others even before them. I created a beast that would free humanity from the tyranny of the gods. Yet all I really did was provide the perfect tool with which humanity could tyrannize itself.
Wow, that's so interesting.
Remember, humanity needs us.
Really cool.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Alright, we're heading to the prison to kill Chevron right now. And then on the other side we can look for Nessa. How can you kill a god? What a grand and intoxicating innocence. Hey, Sully. Indeed. Morning.
I must have jinxed myself. Here we go again.
Yep, we're back in jail. Must have jinxed ourselves. This time the prison has a tower, or rather, it probably had the tower all along, but we didn't climb the tower last time because we went through the dungeons and killed Brutus instead.
Good eye, Exile.
And there's Nico snorting sulfite again. We're gonna ignore Gwenon.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Honestly, I kind of wish there was a way to play through the story without all these past League mechanics cluttering the campaign levels.
Good eye, Exile.
Some of the Warden's Chamber and Rooftop are connected. Surely it was always there. Yeah. Alright, we're on the roof. And there's Brutus again.
You, for my life and my work, I shall not suffer this humiliation again!
Reassembled Brutus. And then they merge.
It seems that those who don't learn from their mistakes are doomed to repeat them.
The witch is so sassy.
And so it begins. My ethereal veins now run with dark ambition. Let's turn that trickle into a torrent. Let's harvest ourselves a Grand Inquisitor. Just as Chevron's spirit chose to return to comfortable climes, Maligaro's essence once again dwells in his very own chamber of sins. Though I hasten to add that Maligaro's sins are not my sins. I prefer transgressions of a more natural order than does he. I'd carry you to Frisia if I could, yet I expended too much of myself when I snatched you from the jaws of Kitava. You will need to find your own path, as will I. Make the journey, and please survive it. We too have much work left to do.
This world is dull and ugly. An imperfect feast of sights, feelings, and smells that repulse and depress. Yet amongst this deformity I have found my sublime calling. This world may be abominable, but to an extent I can be its savior. I have been gifted with a special sight. Before me lies a blueprint of perfection, a kind of hidden beauty within skin, muscles, tendons, and organs. With a tempered hand and a sharpened blade, I will refashion, reshape, and rebirth this world. My obligation is immense, something that will, in all likelihood, consume my life. I cannot rest. My calling energizes me. Such is an artist's curse and compulsion.
Wow. She just has a passion for reassembling corpses. Alright, let's head back to town. Surely there's some new dialogue now.
Who'd have thought those bleating bastards would go and find religion, eh? Now there's nothing quite so sure to spoil a man's appetite than an ecclesiastical debate come supper time. Yet this goatman god, this Aberath, seems fair determined to mix his morsels with his spiritual enlightenments. To put no finer point on it, when the goatmen find him a soft pink human or two as divine sacrifice, he eats them, meat, soul, and all. Well, that's what the legends say.
Chevronenstein, indeed. Man, I want to watch the new Frankenstein movie.
What have you?
at some point.
Good work clearing another path through Axiom Prison. I'm starting to think those stories I've heard about you might be true. With the road to the Frisian forest clear again, I trekked through to the forests beyond to see if the strangeness we're seeing on the coast is also happening inland. What I saw nearly froze my heart solid. The animals there, poor wretches, overtaken by some sort of parasite. As close as I can reckon, they're like termites, burrowing into flesh and mind instead of wood. If I'm right, there'll be a nest somewhere, and a queen. If you can find it, destroy it. Those parasites aren't something we want to see around here anytime soon. Farewell.
Alright, so we have a couple of new clues to optional objectives. We want to kill Aberath, the Cloven One, and the Puppet Mistress, who is putting parasites in all the animals.
May humanity flourish.
Let's ask Sin about both of them.
I have another deity in mind who could be persuaded to donate a little essence to your ongoing edification. Aberath, a deranged old goat with a thirst for human souls, whose cloven hooves now stand astride the old prisoner's road. Have you ever tasted a soul, Beastslayer? No, I imagine not. The poets will speak of sweet souls, bitter souls, enlightened souls, and twisted souls. You know what most of them taste like, really. Regret, with a lingering aftertaste of should have known better. The Puppet Mistress was a revered matriarch who nurtured her tribe into greatness through love, peace, and fecundity. That is, until her children were slaughtered by Tukohama's brave warriors. Dissolution and desperation. They do troubling things to the spirit. And given enough time, what one believes, one becomes.
Huh. Oh, there's more about both of them.
A maggot that festers and writhes in the fetid mud of the wettest lands, Wraeclast, the white worm that corrupts the very earth while her heart yearns to replenish her slaughtered brood. Hers was a prolific tribe once, fat with peace and fecund with love. Then Tukohama's fire swept across her sacred land, and her children were butchered by the madness of war. Now the immortal mother has one waking thought. She will also ensure that her children are never harmed again. How? By making everyone's children her children. A renowned alchemist, eroded by his lust for distilled spirits, and not the alcoholic kind. Aberath the Scholar King, dancing upon a stage of chemicals and fire. He used his knowledge to burn away the flesh so as to liquidate the life force within. A libation he consumed with both frequency and alacrity. It started with animals, goats specifically, and thus his own cruelty became his curse. The Scholar King became the Cloven One, quaffer of souls. Some say he turned to the dram of man in order to cure himself. I believe his thirst simply grew with his burgeoning immortality. And perhaps he still retains some of his scholarly nature, for he seemed fair determined to share his hard-won wisdom. He took himself a princess, a lovely thing from a local tribe, and 9 months later she gave birth to something rather unlovely. The Fawn, as wild and wicked as the shaggy god himself. Schooled in his father's ways, the Fawn would carry off many more virgins in his time. And thus, the race of goatmen found their footing.
Huh. So that's how the goatmen came to be. Interesting.
Remember, humanity needs us.
That's another little tidbit that I never knew about. Oh, don't have any more life nodes nearby, do I? TMI. Wow. We could go for tireless, actually. Let's do that.
when I'm ready and not before.
The Western Forest. I want to go this way first, because we want to find Aberath over here.
Aberath! At last, your thirst is quenched. Good souls were hard enough to come by without that parched old goat drinking his fill. You have done humanity a noble service.
Between alchemy and thaumaturgy, I'll bet on thaumaturgy every time.
Wait, why is this... Why are these ones red? Oh, upgrade effects do not apply until the quest An End to Hunger is completed. I see. I didn't realize that pantheons were now account-wide. They used to be tied to the character, I believe. But I still need to actually get to endgame maps before I get the benefits. That's cool. Good quality of life feature. It was kind of annoying having to capture the pantheons every time you make a new character.
The old goat's turned up his tootsies, has he? Oh, wait! I feel a poem coming on. Through the bleating flock, our exile did wade, over hoof and horn and goat blood sprayed, until at last an audience with old King Billy, or the Cloven One, or Aberath, and other names just as silly. Dine with me, friend, old Billy did growl. Feed me your soul, feed me it now. Our exile just smiled and gutted that goat, so that not one more soul would get stuffed down his old throat. Honestly, you wouldn't believe how hard it is to find a good rhyme for goat exile.
Ever since Mark started doing quality of life patches, a lot of annoying stuff has been removed. Yeah, that's good.
Not right now.
Holy shit, this is an incredible amulet for the campaign. 70% cast speed, 100 max life. Oh well. That might even be sellable, I don't know. Actually, it's probably super easy to get. Oh, it is sellable. That's crazy. How did I find a sellable item in the campaign?
Oh.
I can't do it from here, though. I'll put it over here. I'll sell it later.
Time and tide wait for no man.
That's a tier 1 cast speed roll. Alright, we continue onward towards the Puppet Mistress. Yeah, I don't know why tier 1 cast speed can roll on that item level, but I'll take it. Actually, I do like that. I like that you can get some of the top tiers at lower level. That used to be one of the things I loved about Diablo 2, that you could actually find really good items while leveling the character. and that they didn't artificially inflate the stats to a ridiculous degree on higher levels.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Oh, there's a crafting recipe in here that I missed. This is where Alira used to be. Now there's just a bunch of zombies. Classic for D2 is finding a ring in Act 2 or 3 and you'll never replace it. Yeah. There are a few items that you just... that are just endgame items, basically, that you can find super early. Let's find the waypoint before heading up towards the wetlands. I'll just leave a portal there. There's the waypoint.
Bring the beast in my sights, Exile. We will be best friends, beast, until we slaughter you.
Einar is such a clown. The wetlands have become infested with parasites. And we're about to find the source of that infestation.
Wraeclast! Release this land to the will of its true children. The Asmeri believed that, one day, this world of ours would collapse under the weight of Wraeclast's offspring. A frightening thought, and thankfully, a mistaken one.
If I ever attain divinity, I must make sure I don't end up like her.
Another damn god, you say? Yeah, that figures. A primitive deity from a primitive time, crawling up out of the dirt with a view to enslaving us all with its creeping, bloody offspring. I think we could all do without gods like that. So here, take something for the road ahead. The way things are going, it'll be a tough one. Farewell.
That would just make life complicated.
I wonder what he has to say about the puppet mistress.
Greetings.
Oh, never mind, that's gone now.
Greetings.
There was something about the puppet mistress just now, but it's gone.
Stay sharp out there.
What about the Brine King?
Still alive, are we? Never took much stock in the stories Lily told. Didn't sit right. Those full moon sacrifices her and her ilk would do out on the open water. But now, in light of everything, I'm obliged to reconsider. If it meant Nessa might be spared the attentions of that wretched Brine King, I'd even be inclined to slit a mutineering throat or two myself. Stay sharp out there.
need more mana.
I'm gonna capture this red beast. Oh, my lightning golem died.
You are well prepared for the
Let's
end.
get it back.
This is a fine capture. We will be best friends, Beast, until we slaughter you.
Food for the machine.
That's a lot of gem levels. I'll take that.
Food for the machine.
Am I going the wrong way? Yeah, I am. It's down here. Just skip half of Act 6 and 7 now. Yeah, we could just go to the crossroads. If we keep heading east, surely. Alright, so we're back in the Cavern of Anger.
The Brand King. His time has almost come. Then hope will be... I will be gone. Please, take the Black Flag. It once fluttered from the mast of the Black Crest, Whalem Roth's ship. Throw it into the flames of the beacon. It's your only chance of reaching me, of turning this tide. The king can't keep secrets like this from me any longer. It's just the way of things. Find me, please, before...
Surely. Alright, we've taken the Black Flag. Why does the Black Flag do anything, though? Let me read this again. Throw it into the flames of the beacon. It's your only chance of reaching me. Huh. I don't really understand how, like, the mechanics of that. Why does throwing the Black Flag into the beacon do anything? Yeah, maybe we can talk to Whalem Roth when he arrives. It just sounds oddly specific. But maybe it's a signal that he has agreed upon with someone else. Like that color of smoke or something. That could be the case.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Seems a bit wasteful to burn a flag, though. Surely there's other ways to produce the same type of smoke. I see an entrance down there, but... Okay, I guess I am supposed to go down there. Well, witch that caused the pillar of black smoke to rise above the Sarn slums. Yeah. That man you just eliminated, that was the Maelstrom. I mean Brine King. Imagine Diana commentating your accomplishments in this game. That would be a fun crossover. Really bizarre, but still fun. Dying to a pinnacle boss. Now, don't be down. Oh, not voice acted.
Good eye, Exile.
Good eye, Exile. Let me get that orb of binding. I never rolled proper flasks, actually. I'm still using the first Quicksilver flask I got from level 4. And then a second one that dropped. Or maybe it was a quest reward. But I never rolled proper rolls on them. Oh well. We're not trying to go fast here anyway. We're trying to explore the story. No voice. Kind of a shame. I wish they'd voiced all of the lore objects. Especially these ones right here might be relevant to what's going on, but I am too lazy to read them. Maybe they'd shed some insight into the... or shed some light on or provide some insight into how this beacon works and what's going on with it. And why it has such an elaborate mechanism for loading the fuel. It's the same kind of stuff you would see in the labyrinth. Yeah, you have to light it as well. I don't think it's being kept alive by anyone else. We have to load the fuel from 2 sides and then light it manually. You actually interact with the beacon twice. Once to light it, and then once to throw the black flag into it, I guess. Yeah, the ignition switch. And then we throw the black flag in. And the smoke actually turns red.
So you're the shite that's gone and summoned me to the beacon, eh? Damn it all. Rules rules, and now I'm bound to you. The legendary Wraeclast, captain of the Black Crest, cursed to be the undead slave of some lowly Outcast by the looks of it. You got an ass for a brain in a thick skull of yours? Of course I'll ferry you to the Brine King's bloody reef. I'll be wanting to discharge this accursed duty and get back to me afterlife. It's not right. Not natural being above water without a beating heart in me chest. So get yourself aboard and be quick about it.
Well, that explains most of my questions about why the Black Flag and stuff. It's basically voodoo. We're summoning him and he's an undead servant. And we had to use a part of his ship to summon him. Never realized he's undead. Me neither.
Don't think I'm going to be bawling and chaining after your sorry ass once our journey to the reef is done.
I've actually never listened to his voice acting at all. Previous playthroughs, I just clicked past them really quickly. I didn't even know he had that silly accent.
Just reshape the self.
Right, well on with it then. Go find yourself a salty sovereign to dethrone. Fool's errand, if you ask me. Old Briny will gut you like a fish, but at least with you dead in the water, I'll be free to get on with my own voyage. So off you go, matey.
Gut you like a fish. Let's ask him about the Brine King as well.
Lord of Salt and Scales, what we used to call him. They say when the gods got the boot from our lands, that monstrosity went to sleep down in the deep. Dreamed the kind of dreams that cause all sorts of guild abominations to rise up, to plague and hunt us for what he thinks we must have done to him. Was a time we got ordered to hunt them things near extinction, free the trade routes from old Briny's tyranny. Even so, not a sailor worth his salt who won't sacrifice a lousy deckhand or two by light of the full moon just to keep that overgrown crab slumbering in the Oriath and trench. If he's risen again, you bet your bloody ass we'll bug it.
Nice.
When I'm ready, and not before.
So I wonder if Lily will say anything about me using her father like that. We'll have a chat with her afterwards. A shrine to the Brine King. Oh Lord of Salt and Scale. Damn it, it's not voice acted. See, I would read the stuff that's not voice acted, but I couldn't do it justice. It would just be embarrassing. When there's so much great voice acting in this game.
So courageous. Such a fine example of womanhood. I simply knew you wouldn't disappoint me. Or my husband. You see, His Majesty could never be satiated on his wedding day by one bride alone. Thank you, my new sister.
He's holding her head through a tentacle. Like a puppet. In Act 1 we killed The Dweller of the Deep, but this is the real Granddaddy Crab.
Zologoth. Born of ocean's mire, and death washed clean of dark desire. And thus the Lord of Salt and Scale sinks to feed the fishes that flit amongst the ruins of Soartha. Come and jest of his divine juices while they are all washed away.
It's nice of him to keep the waves away.
Divinity. So much stronger than the others. I must have more.
Oh no, the witch is getting power hungry. Yeah, imagine drowning. Do they talk about what happens to Nessa?
Yes.
He doesn't. Maybe back in Line Eye's Watch, maybe someone will say something about Nessa being gone. But this is the end of Act 6.
How did you? You're still breathing. Bloody barnacles on me arse. You, my new friend, are a legend of the high seas to behold. I tell you what, I've already done my bit getting you here, but if you're looking to sail onto Frisia, me and the Black Crest would be honored to take ya.
Hold that thought. I'm gonna go back to town and talk to Tarkway maybe, or Bestel, about Nessa, if possible.
I'd hoped for a chance
there
to
we
see
go.
Nessa again. Dreamed it like some poor bloody child believing in fairy tales. No, she's not one of us anymore. But at least she's not like Mervale either. Can't overlook a mercy like that. Who knows? Perhaps Nessa is better off this way. Not like this is much of a home to come back to anyway. Look, I know you did what you could. And for that, you'll always have my thanks. Stay sharp out there.
Clearly the old Brine King wasn't worth his salt. A fish out of water, if ever there was. But, I suppose, as someone wise once said, you can't teach a crab to walk straight. Too much. Yeah, be honest with you. All this fishy mirth is me just swimming around a tricky topic. Nessa. She's not coming back to us, is she? Can't say I'm surprised. What with everything she's been through, what she's become. I wish her all the happiness she can find out there in the sea. More than she could muster on this god's awful land of ours.
Wait. Is she still alive but a free mermaid now? That's what his dialogue would imply, but I'm pretty sure she's just dead. She was a part of the Brine King. I never saw her actually leave the Brine King. Surely she's not a mermaid in the sea.
The Black Crest. She lives again. And me granddaddy. Still can't believe Mervale did that to him.
Oh, it was her granddad.
At least his spirit roams free once again. Wonder if he'll come and visit his favourite granddaughter one more time. Anyways, with the Brine King gone, you've done a fine thing for us seafarers. The waters won't no longer pander to the whim of an overgrown, bloody crustacean. And damn me if I don't feel a stirring in me loins. It's the ocean, calling, like a lust-starved lover. But for now, bugger it all. I'll be sticking about Lion Eye's Watch until I get me a new ship. Don't feel sorry for me. With me womanly wiles as sharp as they are, I'll be having Tarkley help me pass the time. Just you see. Time inside, wait.
Okay. Alright, let's sail to Act 7.
Hold on to your cockles, me hearty. The sea betwixt here and Frisia be the most ill-tempered there is. Here's hoping you've as much steel in your gizzard as you seem to in your heart. Cast off!